Может быть, мы услышим от них. Ты думаешь, слышишь? Okay. Okay, hello everybody. Let me first introduce myself. I am Dr. Sergey Glebov, Associate Professor at the Department of International Relations and a Dean of the School of International Relations at the Institute of Social Sciences at Odessa Mechnikov National University. So, why I'm here today? Generally speaking, I'm doing Black Sea studies since 1996. Since 1999, I'm delivering a course for my fourth-year students, which is entitled Problems of the Black Sea Region. Some students at this room know this quite well. Here you can see a manual with the structure of the course. It is based on my doctoral thesis of 2002, Ukraine and the process of constructing security and cooperation system in the Black Sea region in 1990s. Can you see this manual and do you hear me? It looks like yes. This is the picture of the Black Sea and some useful materials inside. It's in Ukrainian, of course. So, coming back to my background and coming back to my thesis. It was the first thesis on Black Sea region defended in Ukraine within international relations scientific framework. It was argued that international relations which appeared in the Black Sea region in the 1990s were a result of interconnection of the Black Sea states towards the process of constructing regional security and cooperation system in times of the post-bipolar process of globalization and regionalization, with the new ideas of regionalism, which led to the appearance of the brand new post-bipolar regions. By means of the Black Sea states foreign policy analysis, I was examining possible options for acute and future models of regional security and cooperation system to be established in the region. To achieve this goal successfully, I have constructed Black Sea region by means of the method of system analysis, to have it as a European subsystem with its elements, structure, and system environments. Within the post-bipolar process of international fragmentation of the international space, now better known as a new regionalism in Björn Hättnäs meaning, the Swedish researcher of modern regionalism at Göteborg University. Then I have analyzed the role of each state element and the volume of their contribution into the regional process of constructing security system. I have also studied concrete regional achievements and obstacles on the way for stable regional system of cooperation. Problems and perspective of regional cooperation under the Black Sea Economic Cooperation Organization, known as BSEC, were in the focus. Just to remind you, within system approach, elements are states. We have 12 of them in the Black Sea system nowadays. Structure is a result of interconnections of the states and consists of 3 levels. The first one are center power relations, Russia and Turkey in our case. The second one are nodes of contradictions in the region, like conflicts, for example. We all know them. And the third one is structural superstructure, the result of international relations in the region, like regional organizations, for example, BSEC or Black Sea 4. And system environment is what is around this system, because regional system is not developing in isolation. This is something what region has been dipped in the upper system, like European one or global, with such external actors like the UN, NATO, the EU, or the US, the most influential actors which are involved into the region but not are parts of it. Frankly speaking, a lot has changed since late 1990s. But did we really have the Black Sea region as the region? And if yes, do we still have it today as an integral political system? My answer is 2 times positive. But in the theory of IR is not that obvious, because in literature on regionalism, we do find a lot of definitions as to the regions, and a lot of researchers are confident that usually the region is a chaotic concept, which exists only in minds of its researchers. Let us introduce Black Sea region to each other. Just 1 second, I will open the floor for there. Okay, so here is my question to all of you. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the following words, the Black Sea region? For me, this is of course my thesis. What is the Black Sea region for you? Any ideas, any pictures? We all live in the Black Sea region, and this is our home. Okay, so do I need to repeat my question once more? Okay. If there are no answers to the question, let me continue. Okay. Okay. Now is my turn. For me, Black Sea region. Okay. Okay. Some technical issues to resolve. So, for me, Black Sea region is a crossroad. The crossroad for people, communities, nations, state interests. This is the crossroad for trade, money, energy. Fortunately, this is a crossroad for peace, and unfortunately, this is a crossroad for wars. Since 1991, the newly constructed Black Sea system of international relations was not static and has been dramatically changed recently. During the Cold War period, there was no Black Sea region in the meaning of the political system. It was just a reflection of the bipolar world in a small bipolar system of international relations in the Black Sea geographical basin, which was also divided into 2 parts between capitalism and communism, like on the global level. The post-Cold War international situation in the wider Black Sea region has always been developing in a way of constant geopolitical tensions on different systemic levels, with the simultaneous involvement of a number of insiders and outsiders. If we already touched upon security, the Black Sea security as a concept must be judged, unfortunately, from the insecurity point of view. The contextual problem is not only due to the fact that in this region there is a concentration of frozen conflicts. The war of Russia against Ukraine in 2014 actually reinforced not only the need for strengthening military security in this explosive region, and energy security in particular. 2014 and the Black Sea region with Crimea in the very center appeared to be the dangerous benchmark and geopolitical Rubicon for the post-bipolar period and a new world order. When dealing with the so-called post-bipolar period of international relations during my classes, from time to time I have been faced with the conceptually correct question from my students. When will this post-bipolar period of IR come to an end? If we take into consideration this widely accepted concept of the current period of international relations as one whose initiation was basically connected to the breakup of the USSR, which in turn inevitably led to the collapse of the bipolar model of international relations in 1991, the post-bipolar era could come to an end only with another fundamental global structural shift. It could be caused by several possible global scenarios, but what is certain is that such a shift would have to be of great magnitude if it were to destroy the previous system of IR, in our case post-bipolar, in favor of a brand new system of IR, the different one, whether we know in advance which one or not. Before March 2014, I had not seen any appropriate critical factor to compare with the dramatic events of 1991. Even 9/11, with all its pain and global solidarity, was not sufficient to open the door to a new international epoch. It appeared to be only the tragic cost of the post-bipolar period in times of temporal monopolarity to meet new global risks of international terrorism on the way to multipolarity. Today, I may state uniquely, the post-bipolar period of IR came to an end in March 2014. It is quite logical and thus symbolic that the post-bipolar transformation of IR started from the Soviet space and ended in the post-Soviet one, particularly in the Black Sea region. With the Green Man intervention of the Russian Federation in Ukraine, the annexation of Crimea, and the anti-terror operation of the Ukrainian forces, the red line of the new period of international history was crossed. The Black Sea region appeared to be the last battle of the Cold War and the new one in the post-bipolar period. So, what is this Black Sea region? Geographical body, geopolitical space, international organism, or all in one, the international system and political region? To answer this question, we need to take it both theoretically and practically. As far as I am from Ukraine, let me present the so-called Ukrainian view on this issue. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, the scientific and practical interest to the region naturally has emerged from the side of the newly independent states, including Ukraine, still the emerging Black Sea power. Such interests were predetermined not only by a physical location of the state, but also by a set of geopolitical advantages which the Black Sea gave to its actors. Previously, most of them were inaccessible for those who were not a central power, even if they were located directly on the Black Sea side. Once more, chances to share the Black Sea basin advantages strategically and economically opened for the littoral Black Sea actors like Ukraine, Georgia, and also for Bulgaria and Romania after 1991, they immediately started to implement geopolitical advantages in their foreign and domestic policies, as well as in the regional political and economic projects led by traditional Black Sea states like Turkey and Russia, even though regional positions of the former strengthened while of the latter weakened after 1991. Besides the post-bipolar evolution of the Turkish-Russian relations, what should be analyzed widely, the new geopolitical space, not divided by the confrontational ideologies anymore, from the very beginning of the post-bipolar era, began to serve as a solid stage, even background and starting point for the new model of the regional cooperation in the Black Sea space. Indeed, as Charles King wrote in his Black Sea history about Black Sea regionalism, what is happening these days in the Black Sea region is the unearthing of a forgotten system of relationships, a filigree of human links which were hidden under the layers of communism and post-communism. This is the end of his citation. Thus, the Black Sea territorial space began to transform itself from the just geopolitical region into political system very fast. As it turned out and was confirmed many times later in 1990s and in the beginning of the 21st century, the Black Sea region as a developing international system had to face not only sincere will of the Black Sea states to cooperate, it also was forced to reserve insecure niches for their elements to fight each other when defending national interests, making the Black Sea system as a system of clashes and thus making the whole region unstable. Not to outline current regional agendas to deal with, the beginning was optimistic though. Already in June 1992, the frontiers of the brand new Black Sea interstate system began to reveal, stretching the Black Sea political region westward, making it larger and ambitiously taking the Black Sea identity out of the traditional coordinates of the Black Sea basin. It was Istanbul Declaration, of course, on the Black Sea Economic Cooperation of June 25, 1992, which pushed forward the new model of post-bipolar regionalism in Europe. With the establishment of the Black Sea Economic Cooperation, the Black Sea region started to reveal itself as a system of international relations indeed. It appeared to be the first strong initiative in the region to unite countries who share the common regional interests and strategy aim. We can find it in a look as it is stated in the first Istanbul BSEC Declaration of June 25, 1992. So, the aim to ensure that the Black Sea becomes a sea of peace, stability, and prosperity, striving to promote friendly and good neighborly relations. The end of citation from the Istanbul BSEC Declaration of 1992. This declaration with the Bosphorus statement of the same date, both adopted at the first Black Sea Summit, have started regional cooperation for 11 countries who decided to consider themselves as the Black Sea states, not only from the geographical, but from the functional point of view. Let us name all of them: Albania, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Georgia, Greece, Moldova, Romania, Russian Federation, Turkey, and Ukraine. In 2004, the first BSEC enlargement took place, and the new member, at that time still Serbia and Montenegro, joined BSEC. Since 2006, only Serbia has secured its positions in the BSEC, as you know. By doing this, the Black Sea region, from the point of the political system theory, as an already constructed regional system of international relations. Now it includes the territory of all 12 BSEC members, making other 7 non-literal Black Sea BSEC members politically as the Black Sea states, even if they are located far away from the Black Sea sides and Danube. Not accidentally, BSEC countries, elements of the Black Sea international system, found it necessary from the methodological and functional point of view to settle the BSEC region in a certain geopolitical space within concrete borders. As the BSEC Charter confirms, BSEC region means the territories of the member states. As far as we see BSEC of 1992 as the founding source which gave the birth to the Black Sea region in a post-bipolar look on the wave of the new regionalism in Bjorn Hetny's meaning, where the Black Sea region became the artificially constructed political system by virtue of the creative power of international law expressed by multinational agreements, we should treat BSEC as a core of the Black Sea region/system. Ukraine could also be proud of some effective efforts which it was able to realize in its regional, unfortunately not strong always, policy. It was Ukraine which held a historical BSEC summit in June 1998, when BSEC's institutionalization to meet a full-fledged status of the international UN-recognized organization finally made a breakthrough after signing and adopting BSEC Charter in Ukrainian Yalta, Crimea. Needless to say that national interest of Ukraine in the Black Sea region, its natural space of location, are concentrated in all strategic spheres, including civilizational context. In times of globalization, integration, and parallel process of economic regionalization of world space, to create an effective system of international security and cooperation must be in the very core of the regional and foreign policy of all Black Sea countries within BSEC. Putting aside the critical approach to the practical achievements of the organization, which was forced to meet and somehow overcome sharp political and even military challenges, also modest economic conditions on the way to test stability of the Black Sea countries to cooperate successfully in the Black Sea region, we should not underestimate the conceptual and crucial role of BSEC in constructing New Europe on its southern eastern flank. Moreover, BSEC actually already appeared to be effective, at least because it used all efforts successfully to save Black Sea regional system of cooperation from the dissolution for these 23 years when risks were and are still strong enough. For instance, having Armenia in the same regional organization led by Turkey, the ally of Azerbaijan, and without having diplomatic relations between Ankara and Yerevan, BSEC acts if not at the stage for resolving problems, but at least in a capacity of a place for a dialogue where bilateral problems could be announced and kept on a surface for a perspective discussion between competitors. This is not bad at all, taking into account that South Caucasus is that sub-region which has both opportunities and responsibilities to guarantee energy security for hundreds of millions now and in the future, not talking about human security concerns. The South Caucasus being eastern part of the wider Black Sea region, and at the same time the western part of the wider Caspian region, makes both Black Sea and Caspian regions as a one integral geoeconomic space to provide oil, gas, and their transit. Let us stop by energy security shortly. The Black Sea region is an energy cornerstone and thus the security corner of Europe. It is thus a key region in southeastern Europe with its vital transit flows of gas and oil out of Caspian Sea, Middle East and Central Asia and from the territory of the Russian Federation. The Black Sea region exists in such geopolitical coordinates where energy flows are crossing the region in an east-west direction, though financial flows are coming back. That means the West is dependent on what is coming out from the East. The latter supplies the West with energy, while the West supplies the East with money. There is a crucial interconnection between eastern parts of Europe with central and western parts, underlined by strategic economic interests, though the Black Sea-Caspian region, which now acts as the one. The mirror region, situated on the opposite side of the European vertical, the Baltic region, also enjoys geopolitical coordinates in the sphere of energy security, representing a promising energy node with its Nord Stream and with Russia and Norway on the northern European energy market. But the energy situation in the Black Sea region differs from its northern mirror counterpart. In the Baltic region, there are settled rules in the big energy game, which have been developing between three main actors, the EU, Norway, and the Russian Federation. Unlike the Baltic region, the general atmosphere of geopolitical competition in the post-Soviet space with the involvement of the USA, NATO, and the EU makes energy security issues of the Black Sea region a top problem for all sides involved. Frozen conflicts and conflict potential, political and economic instability in some Black Sea and Caspian countries, all this makes the region energy infrastructure fragile. Moreover, in addition to the Black Sea region as an energy region, relatively new Caspian oil and gas excavation create a kind of a single Black Sea-Caspian region, quite integral at the moment. As a result, there is an unstable mix of different threats which could be activated to destabilize energy interconnection to the Black Sea region. Ultimately, energy security in the Black Sea touches upon economic stability in the EU, Black Sea littoral states, the Russian Federation, and number of European and Asian subregions, and has an impact on Euro-Atlantic stability. In this scenario, there are two big regional leaders, the Russian Federation and Turkey, able to formulate the energy agenda, coordinate energy flows on a long-term basis. But this is another long story. Therefore, it will not be an exaggeration to state that the key challenge to the integrity of the Black Sea system of the regional cooperation lies in the sphere of security, both military and energy, where the case of the South Caucasus is only one of the acute regional agendas. Unfortunately, many of the acute security issues in the Black Sea region are out of the BSEC involvement, where even such honorable structure like BSEC, the founding body of the international regional system, is powerless to mediate. But is there any other organization outside Black Sea region which is in power to mediate? The answer is negative, taking into account a sad experience of 2008 and 2014. For example, let me read just one citation from the site of European experts. The war between Georgia and Russia in August 2008 revealed that Europe lacks a coherent joint system of security. Not only did the current system fail to prevent the war, it also fared poorly in the task of mediation. Even more importantly, It turned out that there was little common ground as to the very principles on which European security was to be founded. The end of citation. This citation, to my mind, only confirmed that the Black Sea security has to be part of the upper level security relations in Europe and Euro-Atlantic. But last developments in Crimea and Ukraine showed up that there are no direct and clear answers even on these upper levels. Concluding my speech, I would like to stress out. From the methodological point of view, the Black Sea region is examined from the traditional theories of international relations at the crossroads of political idealism and political realism. Unfortunately, the wider Black Sea region is not ready to use and adopt new theories of international relations, which view international relations and security from a postmodern point of view that is popular now in the West, especially in the advanced security communities of Western and Northern Europe. Hard security issues prevail over soft security concerns in the Black Sea region. As a result, the security situation in the region is assessed through the use of the Cold War era terminology. What does it mean for the future? To my mind, the Black Sea region, being the region with its elements, structure and system environment, being the sub-region of the European system, being also an international political subsystem, itself appeared to be the result of the regional agreement within BSEC. Now is on the edge of the collapse as a system, as a political region. Thank you very much for your attention. I would like to stop here, and I'm open for your questions. I will try to answer. Thank you once again.
Would like to ask those universities who would like to raise questions to come to your microphone so we can see who is ready and to switch on the microphone, so not to have the extra echo. Or you can use the chat function as we used before and to type your question there. In case our students here would like to ask any of the questions, feel free.
My students, I wrote quite well in my course in their зачет.
Okay, university. Who is ready for it?
Yes, you
Sure, you are free.
hear us?
We can hear you, just ask a question.
So again, Hannah.
Good afternoon, we can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yes,
Oh,
we do hear you.
Thank
Please
you.
go ahead.
Professor, good afternoon. You have said, my name is Cristina Mercaru. I'm a student at this faculty. Yes, from Romania. And in your speech, you have said that uh, since a very long time there has been many political tensions in the Black Sea region. Recently, a new concept which has risen is that of the new Silk Road. Do you believe that this economic concept rather would encourage more negotiation in the idea of economic benefit for countries, considering that the new Silk Road crosses the Black Sea region?
Thank you for your question. I believe that any multilateral economic project is the only mean to secure Black Sea region as a political system, as an integral system. Look at the situation between Ukraine and Russia nowadays. Even during such sad and tragic circumstances, both Kiev and Moscow, with the mediation of the European Union, are trying to resolve the common energy agenda in Brussels, are trying to sign the new gas contract, not taking into account the situation between Ukraine and Russia at the moment. So the dialogue, there is a space for a dialogue. Still, there is still a room for a dialogue. Even two counterparts are fighting each other. Even we do not perceive this conflict at the interstate one, but this is the way how I look at the moment here from Ukraine. So concerning Silk Road, concerning any other multi-regional project, I do believe that economic benefits will prevail any conflict, because in cooperation, in peace, in profits, in money, this is the right combination of interests and possibilities to stop any conflict, to stop any war. Let us believe that both Armenia and Azerbaijan find similar bilateral or multilateral regional project which could bring these two countries into one regional agenda to develop any economic project successfully, both for Yerevan and Baku. Let us hope that Ankara and Yerevan also find a peaceful solution of their historical problems within the brand new economic project and opportunity. It is hard to believe that nowadays we may rely on any economic project in the region to fulfill this mission. But we all know that even during the Cold War period of international relations, there were quite intensive economic relations between the USSR and the United States of America, also in the energy field. Let us hope that peaceful economic solutions and benefits prevail and finally destroy any military interests, because the world now is global. The world now is not fragmented like 23, 25 years ago, and there is no ideological confrontation like it used to be. Both Russian Federation, both Azerbaijan, Armenia, Ukraine, and other countries of the Black Sea region are capitalistic in their internal everyday economic and political life. That means that they may also find a solution, but only on the democratic basis. And this is another problem. If you accept democracy as the solid ground to fulfill, to develop any economic project, so we are on the right track. If someone do not accept the democracy as the very ultimate condition for any economic and political relationship, this is a big problem. Let us hope that economic projects, anyone, or regional economics projects will never be a victim of the political ambitions. It will be my answer.
Thank you. Will the next university to have the questions? We have time for one question. We are calling if Izmir have the questions for Yerevan. Maybe just show near the camera.
Yes, please.
Hear you. Yep.
Hello, my name is Lucina. I would like to ask you a question about Black Sea economic cooperation. And as you mentioned, there are many states which have a lot of conflicts, and there are many controversies among these states. For example, Turkey, Greece, Armenia, and Azerbaijan, Russia and Georgia, Russia and Ukraine nowadays. Don't you think that all these conflicts are hindrances and they don't let the organization to be effective? And also, I would like to ask you about the perspectives of this organization and how it can help to solve these conflicts. Do you think it is possible that this organization in future will have a better role in the region? Thank you.
Какое будущее у ЧС в связи с этими проблемами?
As I already said in my lecture, in my contribution, BSEC is the very important structural element for the Black Sea region. It is not that active nowadays. It was not extremely active since it was established in 1990s. And the obvious reason, the obvious answer to this ineffectiveness is that there are too many countries which are politically not partners. At the same time, the BSEC case was a good start, a good alternative to overcome interstate confrontation and interstate conflicts by means of regional instruments. I may say that this experience was not bad, was not really bad. At least this is the good platform for communication. At least BSEC and other body structures within BSEC framework could elaborate some very interesting regional project to develop all together. But unfortunately, as I already said, BSEC is out of the energy game, is out of the game which deals with military security with the naval forces. That's why we have in the Black Sea region Black Sea 4, which is also not very effective nowadays. But the idea is that BSEC, neither BSEC nor Black Sea 4 were established to resolve conflicts. They were established to help countries to resolve conflicts by their own. Unfortunately, we can't see nowadays any way out from the interstate insecurity, and unfortunately, both BSEC and Black Sea 4 are not able to bring more peace into this region. As I said in my conclusion, we all may be skeptical as to the future of BSEC, and if we are skeptical about BSEC, that means that we are skeptical as to the future of the Black Sea region as a political system. It could also be possible that Black Sea region as a political system dissolve and it will vanish very soon and disappear from this geopolitical map in case regional center powers will continue to pursue this policy which splits the region into two different parts. I'm not blaming Russia at the moment. I'm not talking about Russia as a state. I'm talking about those political regime which is in Kremlin now. But this is another story. What can we say about regional opportunities? If on the very high level, on the top level of the global system, within the system of the United Nations, none of the UN member states can propose any sufficient plan to overcome this situation in Ukraine and in Crimea in a more or less peaceful way. That means that we are at the end of the post-bipolar world. And unfortunately, I must confess that none of the regional Black Sea organizations or instruments would be quite effective in a short-term and long-term period to resolve the problem, which is not possible to resolve on the level of Europe and Euro-Atlantic and the global frame as we see it nowadays.
Thank you. Do we have the last question for today? Sergey.
Can you?
Yes, we can hear you.
So can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. My name is Octavian Sofrona. I'm a teaching assistant at the University of Bucharest, and I would like to launch the next question. In which measure the Black Sea region is and it was an American priority? Which is the American involvement in this region?
Okay, thank you very much. We put the United States into this set of actors which formulates and consists the system environment for the Black Sea political system. The US is the only superpower nowadays, and as far as the United States consider any region in the world as the region of their national interests, I must stress out that for the United States, the Black Sea region is the region of their national interests. That is why Ukraine, with Ukrainian Crimea, that is why the Black Sea region, that is why Georgia became, to some extent, hostages in the big political global game, which involved both the Russian Federation, former superpower, and the current superpower, the United States. This is the front line of the post-Cold War competition. And this is not only the priority for the United States to stress the sector of democracy in Eastern Europe by including Ukraine and Georgia and other Black Sea countries into the process of democratization. The US also have much more pragmatic aims in the region, like energy security, like NATO future scenarios. There is no problem if the United States make a deal with the Russian Federation to adopt and elaborate the common strategy on the regional level, like, for example, to include the Russian Federation into the new structure of a collective security, which could come on top and substitute NATO. Of course, it could be possible in case Russia choose the democratic way of the further development. Unfortunately, this is not the case for the Russian Federation nowadays. That is why we do see opposite scenario when we do not construct the common bridge. We destruct it. We make impossible any new integral scenarios, both in economy and military sphere, possible. So, a part of Russian Federation, the United States are very interested in supporting those partners who pursue the democratic choice of their development. Of course, this is the region which is quite close to the Middle East, to the problematic sections of this geopolitical map: Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq. These are the points of concern of the United States, and Turkey with its military capacities, with its territory, Georgia with its pro-American and pro-European aspirations, also Ukraine, which is in a capacity of emerging democratic country, could support the United States to promote peace and stability in the region. The main problem is that not all actors in the global and regional arena accept the United States as the ultimate carrier of democracy in the world. This is another story. But anyway, we see that nowadays Ukraine, Crimea, and the Black Sea region, this is the front line where the United States and the Russian Federation are trying to resolve those problems which kept its actuality since 1991. It looks like the Russian Federation is very much interested to come back to the period of the Cold War, to the period of the late 1980s, and it looks like the United States is not ready to let the Russian Federation to come back to the period of the Cold War. Let us see what happens next.
Thank you very much. So we are finishing our lecture for today. We hope you enjoyed, and see you in November.
Thank you very much for your attention. Goodbye.